I have 3 questions for Timothée Chalamet. First one is, what the hell? And my second question is, what the hell? And my third question is, what the hell? Hello readers, welcome back to Sandra is Booked, where I talk all things book and bookish related. And today we're back with another reading vlog, and we're back with a special little reading vlog, one that people are always intrigued to watch, and it's Timothée Chalamet's book recommendation reading vlog. So basically I choose some books that Timothée Chalamet has recommended and read himself, and then I read them and I share my thoughts and opinions with you. Now let me say, I've been using the BuzzFeed list for Timothée Chalamet's recommendation, and I'm like shocked that like basically this guy, all he did was like, you know what, Dostoevsky, just like add him to the entire list. Like all of his back list, just add that there, because I have no regrets, because I love to psychologically suffer. So just add that, and like that I'll transform my fans also into these psychologically tense people. So yes, I'm gonna go quickly through the list, and I'm gonna tell you which books I've already read and which books I'm reading for this reading vlog. So we have here Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. As I said, The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I read that one in my undergrad. It took me a month to read. And pro tip, if you ever want to read any Dostoevsky, this is my advice. Read it in small chunks every day throughout a month. Don't read it in one sitting, and don't read a Dostoevsky novel back to back. That's just my pro tip, and I don't know why I ignored it, but yeah. Then we have The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which I also read during my undergrad, and then we have Notes from the Underground by Dostoevsky, and then we have The Shallows, How the Internet is Changing the Way We Think, Read and Remember by Nicholas Carr. I don't have that book, but it seems very interesting, so I added it to my list, but I'm not reading it in this vlog. Then we also have Winners Take All, The Elite Charade of Changing the World by Anand Giridharadas. Well, I'm not gonna try to say that a second time, because the first time was enough embarrassment. It looks like it's about like global economy and how the rich are something. Yeah, you catch the drift, okay? Then we have 1984 by George Orwell. I've also read that in high school. We have Little Women, obviously, because he starred in that movie, by Louisa May Alcott. Great book, great classic. I read that 2 years ago, and it was amazing, and I highly recommend that one. And then we have Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Also recommend, highly recommend. If you haven't read it, it's very short, go read it. And then we have The Book of the Year of Bob Dylan by Bob Dylan Chronicles Volume 1. I'm not to say I don't like Bob Dylan, I'm just not like a super fan, so maybe one day I'll pick up this memoir, but I don't think so. And then we have The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa. Looks good. Once again, I have not read that one. Maybe I'll make a second Timothée Chalamet reading vlog and actually read this one. And then we have Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. And I actually have her other novel on my shelf, but I don't have this one, so I did not read this one this time around. And then final book we have And Then the End Will Come by Brandon Andress. Wow, I literally cannot read. Who gave me my degree? I don't know, something about literally I chose Notes from the Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and then because I hate myself, I chose Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Now, by no means do I hate Dostoevsky, because actually I love Dostoevsky and I actually want to read all his works, and I'm like, I guess 3/4 there at this point, like I'm almost done for good. But however, as I said, do not read all of this in one go, because you will literally exhaust your brain and you will psychologically delve deep in there, and then have an existential crisis. Okay, so there's a reason why Dostoevsky inspired Jean-Paul Sartre. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I also Timothée Chalamet recommends all the books that he has starred in. So there's Dune by Frank Herbert, and you guys already know I read this book 2 months ago when the movie released. So if you want to watch that, go ahead and watch my reading vlog about Dune. I highly enjoyed Dune. So I basically am thinking like Timothée Chalamet's book recommendations are like god tier book recommendations. So if you're interested, I'll link the post down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog because we'll get right into Dostoevsky and the human psyche. Let's go. Shadow. Do not make a pervy joke, but I almost filmed this shot with some clean underwears that I bought yesterday in the shot that I did not put away. So it's my own fault. But yeah, thankfully I saw that. So anyways, let me explain. It is 6:45 p.m. and I work at 6 a.m. Which is actually pretty good because normally I work at 5 a.m. and I'm trying to read Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky in that minus 12 hours, and it's really big, and I just need to show you the font of this book. This should be illegal. The camera doesn't do it justice, but the font is so small, like it should not be a thing. But anyways, and it's like around almost like 550 pages or something like that. So technically it should take me 10 hours to read, but also I'm very slow at reading, so it could actually take me like up to 12 hours, and that would mean that I have to read non-stop until I go to work. So we'll see if I can do it. The reason why I want to do this right now is because I will never get to this book if I keep putting it off, and I have been putting it off, and I want to film this reading vlog, and I wanted to film a Timothée Chalamet book recommendation reading vlog. That's where we're at. I am many things, but if I am one thing, is determined, and determination it shall be. So I will try to film as accurately as possible, as realistically as possible, my life and the happenings and my thoughts. No spoilers, but still my thoughts. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Never put such a strict time limit on myself, not even when I was in university, especially for like a hefty daunty classic. And I have read The Brothers Karamazov for uni, and it actually took me like a whole month because that novel is even larger than Crime and Punishment. So wish me luck. I'm going to need it. My brain capacity is already slow. I should be like going to sleep slowly, but we're gonna do it. Pro tip: do not read in bed if you're afraid to fall asleep in bed. But like if you like to live life on the edge and take your chances and take risk, then by all means read in bed like I do. Am I wearing a very old Gap sweater? Yes, I am. Has it been passed down to me by my elder sister of 10 years? Yes, it has. And have I been wearing it almost religiously in the last 10 years. Yes, I have. Is it fraying on the sides? It is. But it's a comfort. It's a comfort sweater. And actually my mom threw away orangey red version of this sweater that was a bit more battered. And till this day I'm still in mourning because I missed that sweater, and it really suited my complexion for some reason. So I'm sorry you can hear some noise in the background. I put the tea kettle and I wasn't thinking because I was like, oh, I'm gonna film, but I didn't think about the noise of the tea kettle, if that makes sense. But who's excited for some tea? Okay, you're not excited. I get it. It's not like I can give you some tea through the screen, but if I could, I would. So I guess the thought counts, the intention counts, right? Okay, so we're gonna try to like freaking get through this today. I'm gonna share my thoughts in a few seconds, in a few minutes maybe, until the kettle is done, because I have some thoughts and I am not that far in. I'm like 107 pages in, and I have about, so there's about 550 pages. I have about 450 pages to go. My goal is to like freaking read like 350 pages. I'm putting it out there in the universe. It is almost 12 o'clock in the evening, no, 11:30, but I have a bunch of things to do, and as you guys might know by now, I try to sleep by 9. Is that gonna happen? I don't know, but I still have a bunch of things to do, so let's get into it. Update. So I know that I'm late, but I am listening to the Taylor's version of her old albums. I'm starting with Fearless. What the hell, I can't speak today. And yeah, I'm liking it. I honestly am not too accustomed with Fearless, except for those popular songs like 15 and whatever that I was listening to when I was younger. But all the other songs I'm not too accustomed to, so I wouldn't even know which ones are new. For the Red album, I think I would know a bit more, but I started listening to her religiously like after those albums. So what was it, the 1979 album? What was the title of that album? That album allowed me to write my entire second book during the first time I participated in NaNoWriMo. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but let me look. What is it? Is it 1984? Let me see. 1989. I was right. 1989. Did I say 1989 or did I say 1979? That doesn't make sense. I know she's born around. Anyways, besides the point. So I made a tea, and then I realized that why the hell am I pushing myself to read Dostoevsky that quickly? Like, you cannot consume Dostoevsky, especially with all the psychology he goes through with his characters, in one sitting. Like, you can, but you're like literally psychotic yourself if you do it. No offense, because I remember during my undergrad, every time we had one of his novels, so I read Brothers Karamazov and I read The Idiot, they both took me like about a month to read. So I think that's the smart way to go about it, because like you read a few chapters a day and you process it, right? Because it's some heavy duty stuff, and then like you finally finish a novel and you're sitting with it. Do you know what I mean? If you consume it in one go, first of all, that's a lot, and it's so heavy, and like you feel miserable. Like, you feel good and accomplished, but you also feel miserable because his characters are always going through things. So instead, I'm gonna delay this video that was like, you know, was supposed to go out like already 2-3 weeks ago. It was actually supposed to go out around when June came out, which is the funniest part to me. Like, it's already been 2 months late. So what will 2 more weeks do? You know what I mean? Like, when you start to think about it, as long as you get it done before the end of the year, that's how I start to think about things. So I will try to read like 50 pages a day without fault, which is like an hour a day or something, and then finally conclude. And I will read his other work, which is Notes from the Underground, which is very short. So I'm sure that I could read in 2 days. And yeah, so here we go. We're delaying it even more. And what am I gonna film for next week? This week, coming week. We'll see. But that's not the point of this vlog, because this is all going in this one vlog about Timothée Chalamet. So, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I know. Give me your thoughts on Dostoevsky and on Russian literature in general. Like, which Russian pieces of literature are your favorites? Like, I've read Gogol, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Nabokov. I've read like the popular ones, but I still haven't read Pushkin and those other dudes that I keep forgetting their names. But yeah, I have to read what is that guy, Mikhail something, you know, the one with the Masters and Margarita stuff. I forgot the name, but yeah, I have to read him too. Is it a him? I think it's a him. It's always a him. Now, that's some spilled tea. This is very cringy. This is a very cringy clip. Like, from start to finish, like, first of all, I can't make eye contact with the camera because every time I film here, I need to look at the street because I need to see if someone's looking at me filming at myself, because I'm very, very self-conscious like that. But I don't know, I just hate this clip. Oh my god. But we're gonna keep it in because this is raw, natural filming, okay? This is what it's like to be a content creator online, where you guys get to witness me being weird. Holy shit. Cut. Not Dostoevsky just reminding us how simple and easy it is to attack the male ego. Interesting. I think perhaps. you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm filming on my phone on my bed. This is like throwing me back to like 5 years ago when I started making writing vlogs, and I only had my phone to film, and it was like an iPhone 6, so the quality was at that point already bad. Anyways, what am I talking about? What I'm trying to say is, you probably just saw that clip of me smoking hookah while reading. And okay, although I feel like people on the internet spend a lot of time explaining themselves, there's a reason for that. Because A, you don't know me personally, you only see the things that I want you to see, and you only hear the things that I want you to hear. Now, I'm not so familiar with parasocial relationships, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it works, where it's like I decide what you see and you consume what you want to see. Does that make sense? I'm too tired to have this discussion, but basically what I'm trying to say is, oh my god, you just saw all my laundry. Never mind. I'm gonna go back here. What I smoke is like, first of all, there's no illicit content in there. It's basically, there's not even any tobacco, and it relaxes me. It's a habit that I've developed, unfortunately, but I also don't do it as much anymore. But tonight I had to stay up because of my schedule, so the only thing I could think of staying up is like preparing that and doing that for like 1-2 hours, you know, because it usually wakes me up a bit and keeps me focused on the words on the page. Anyways, I think that people online have to explain themselves a lot. They don't have to, but they do, because obviously it's so easy to get canceled and misinterpreted. But what I'm trying to say is that I obviously don't condone my actions, and I obviously am not encouraging anyone to do it. And I'm in the general assumption with my analytics that the people that watch me are the older crowd to begin with. So people that, like, you know, are 20 and over, and you're an adult and you can make your own decisions. And obviously we all know that smoking in any form, or consuming any type of smoke, even if it's non like, you know, what am I trying to say, non-nicotine or whatever it is bad. But yeah, I just had to come on here 2 seconds to explain that. And I'm probably gonna film my thoughts on the books tomorrow, and I'm going to go to sleep because these bags aren't going on their own. They aren't going on their own. So see you soon with an update, and don't smoke. Also, there's a bunch of other things that I want to say. One being that I don't want to lie to my viewers. I don't want to lie about myself. I want to be as authentic that one can be online and on the internet. And I know it's not for everyone, and I know it makes people uncomfortable, but yeah, I'm not a perfect human being, and with all the faculties that I have going up there, I still am a person that deals with a lot of stress, that, you know, sometimes does things that I shouldn't, or does things that I should but not often enough. So yeah, I'm not trying to like over rationalize, or I'm not trying to justify. Like, the fact is the fact, you've seen it. But yeah, I just wanted to say, it's really easy to judge online. It's really easy. And like, sometimes I see these lives online and they seem so perfect, and you know, I go on BookTube, and although I connect with a lot of the creators, like no matter like what ethnic background are they from, and what age group they are, or what sexuality they are, or like what gender they identify as, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, there's missing that little click that makes me remember that they are human. And I love when they become super vulnerable, and I've been scared to be vulnerable my whole life, but I'm like one of the most vulnerable people that most people encounter. So like I want to make sure that it stays the same when I'm online and filming. And sure, it doesn't, you know, apparently you're not supposed to like show your personal life or show your things online, but it's like someone who's drinking a glass of wine and answering questions on a Q&A on YouTube. Like if I think of like Damon Dominique, like, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, there's not much difference. Plus, what I am consuming is not illegal, and there was no illegal substance in it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a very heavy topic for a book video, for a reading blog. But, yeah. I think I've been reading too much Dostoevsky because it's making me overthink everything now. And I'm, like, going so deep into my psyche. So, pro tip, never read 2 Dostoevsky books back to back. That's literally how to like mess up your brain, and like it could possibly lead to a reading slump and an existential crisis. Okay, that was all that I had to say for tonight because I'm so tired. Like, I don't even know if I make sense anymore. Bye-bye. Okay, we reached the final thoughts. We reached the moment, the culmination of this psychological journey that I had. I'm literally not okay, as in like reading these books, they're just like, you know, like they're like picking your own brain, okay? And the reason why is that Dostoevsky, okay, he just loves to depict human society and humans and the human psyche, and he really like goes deep, and he's almost like making jest. Like he actually whoever translated, I think it's Constance Garnett, translated this version that I have of Notes from the Underground. They use the word jest, and I think that's what Dostoevsky does. He is jesting, okay, with his readers to the point where it's like inappropriate. Like you don't feel comfortable. You're like, oh my god, this is a joke, but it's not a joke. It's like when someone tells a joke or makes a racially slurry joke, and you're just like, you're sitting there like, we're still doing that. We're still in the 70s. We're allowed to do these? Like, no, we cannot do those. And the reason why is because there's a lot that we're covering as a society, right? So like we see poverty, we see like the destruction that we do on earth, and the destruction we do within ourselves and our social circles, and yet we're okay with it. Like we're so okay with it that we've become sick, right? And so he offers these characters that you cannot help but love and critique because they want a search for the truth, right? And they want to be like, hey, listen, I did this horrible act. Now what? Right? Now what? Because everyone else is like part of this horrible act that we are as human beings and what we're doing. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm like psychologically messed up right now. So, I mainly blame Crime and Punishment because like you're literally, as the reader, committing the crime to yourself, and then you're suffering through the punishment. But like at the same time, you cannot help yourself to do the crime and then to get punished. And it's literally what is happening to the main character. The main character's name is really hard to say. Like, you know when you like have like names and you just say them in your head but you can't say them out loud? So his name is Raskolnikov, okay? Basically his name is Rascal, and like that's what I call him in my head. I know it's so bad, but I'm not trying to disrespect that name. But it's just like it's so much easier when you can't say a name to like use a word that you're more familiar with. Like sometimes I call like characters like Apple. Is that weird? Anyways, besides the point, as always, I don't know. No, I don't think this has beaten my love for Brothers Karamazov. I would say like Brothers Karamazov is still at the top, and then it's Crime and Punishment, then it's Note from the Underground, and then it's The Idiot. But I think it's because The Idiot's been so long time since I've read that book that I like hardly recall most of the events that happened. But anyways, now for this one, it's pretty much the same thing. So there's this guy, and he's an underground man, and he basically is like talking to you. He's like jesting with you, and he's being like, oh, but listen, like, I know that I'm the scum, and I'm like more scummier than scum, that like I'm such a scum that I cannot even be an insect because that's how much of a scum I am. And yet, like, you know, I also can feel these ways and that way, but I can try not to feel those ways and that way. And then he's like critiquing society through the lens of critiquing himself. And so on the one hand, he elevates himself and then he depreciates himself. So in that way, he comes to this middle ground, and like, you know, for an underground man, he's a middle ground man, and he's just talking to you about the disenchantment of man. Does any of this portion of the video make sense? Like, how do you review these without like spoiling and without like, you know, making it sound more complicated than it is? One thing for sure, this is my takeaway from the video: Timothée Chalamet. What the hell? Timothée Chalamet, like, what is your fascination with Dostoevsky? How old were you when you first read your first Dostoevsky novel? Because that is a lot to put on someone's psyche, okay? Like, I started doing my undergrad, but I feel like if I read them before my undergrad, that'd just go over my head, right? And yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I just need thoughts. I need people's thoughts. What do you guys think? Like, I took a Russian novel class in undergrad, and it was like the best thing ever. And we read like Anna Karenina, and we read The Idiot, and we read Gogol. Gogol was really good too. So I really want, from here on out, I really want to go back to like Russian novels and like make it through, you know, all the list of Russian classic. Like, I have not read Chekhov, and I have not read, what's the other guy, Pushkin. So if you have other recommendations, like modern and ancient times Russian novels that are great, let me know down below, because I would love to read them. And let me know what you think of both Notes on the Underground and Crime and Punishment, and which one do you prefer and why. And yeah, if you spoil anything, just like give a heads up first before, you know, other people are scrolling the comments. And yeah, don't say I never did anything for you guys, because psychologically I have a lot to think about our society and my reactions to my society. That was it for the video. I hope you enjoy. As always, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. All readers and non-readers are welcome, but just so you know, I will push some Russian classics onto you, okay? And I know you can take it, okay? Just don't do what I did, okay? Take like 30 minutes a day to read them. Don't force yourself to read them in under a week, because you will literally damage your psyche, okay? Freud is coming out of his grave to tell you you will damage your psyche, but he won't, so I will tell you, okay? Alright guys, let me know what you're reading, and I'll see you on next week's reading vlog. Bye bye! In all seriousness, I'm not okay. I'm really not okay. I don't even know if I can write my books anymore. I'm just not okay. Wow.